We are talking about a generation where we could get rid of carbon emissions. Now, to get rid of carbon emission, what is a good substitute? Ammonia is called as a good substitute, and why not talk about ammonia engines then? So let's first talk about ammonia in chemistry terms. So it is NH3, nitrogen bonded with 3 hydrogen atoms, and since it does not have carbon, therefore it is considered as a relatively better fuel because it would reduce the amount of carbon footprints into the atmosphere. But this ammonia in itself is important for few reasons. It is relatively more stable. Again, it is considered as a cheaper fuel. It is cheaper than methanol. Now, methanol would release carbon, which has to be taken into account through the processes. Now, which industry can ammonia be used successfully? So shipping industry account for a very high proportion of carbon footprints into atmosphere, and it's believed that ammonia, if can be brought into the shipping industry, can bring wonders. So the first design is supposed to be released in 2024 for the first ship based on ammonia by MAN, which is one of the major companies talking about ammonia generation, and this would be released for commercial fleet in 2026. So ammonia could become one of the futures of energy. But when we are talking about ammonia, there are few things we need to take into account. First of all, ammonia fuel injectors have to be used, and they do not have high calorific value, that is the energy which is within a contained volume, we can say. And this is where we say ammonia, when burned, releases two things: nitrous oxides and nitrogen oxides. Nitrogen oxides is poisonous in nature. Nitrous oxides have 273 times more capability to heat the atmosphere. Now, both of them are dangerous, risky propositions. So, if we are bringing ammonia engines, we have to bring in something to curb these two things. So, how can these be curbed? Now, nitrous oxides can be curbed by a simple process. If there is high temperature combustion, the amount of nitrous oxides in the atmosphere would reduce, and therefore, despite the fact it has higher temperature potencies, the proportion of nitrous oxide released in the atmosphere would be curbed. But the other side of the picture is nitrous oxides. Now, these are dangerous because these are poisonous, and to curb those, we require catalytic converters. Now, these catalytic converters are the converter reactors where what happens is you actually have the ammonia passing through along with water, and here nitrous oxides are formed. Now these oxides, when they are formed, they go through the catalytic converter, and in this process they separate out with a very minor amount of nitrous oxide, which is considered as the permissible amount to be released. But this would require installations for catalytic converters. Now again, what is important to understand is ammonia, how can we use it rather than the existing carbon fuels? Now, ammonia requires more storage capacity. So, an engine, if it was working, let's say, on 8,000 cubic meters, now it would require 20,000 cubic meters. So, first of all is the storage space which is required. That would be more. Again, ammonia is toxic in nature. So because of this toxic nature, what happens is there has to be proper enclosures that have to be built in. Another important thing is ammonia is processed in two ways. We call it as green ammonia and grey ammonia. Grey ammonia is the ammonia which is obtained from fossil fuel again, but this is a substantial portion of ammonia. Ammonia is commonly seen in our sweat as well, right? But green ammonia, on the other hand, is an ammonia obtained through renewable sources of energy. That means through the electrolysis of water. So water electrolysis would separate out nitrogen, and this nitrogen, when separated out in the Haber-Bosch process, would convert into ammonia, and this ammonia could be utilized, and this ammonia would be considered as a green ammonia because it is obtained from the electrolysis of water. Now, what is important to understand here is when we are talking about green ammonia, the production of green ammonia at present is very, very low, which is only 0.3 gigawatts. It is assumed that by 2050 we can increase our production to nearly 2013 gigawatts. But if we want our entire shipping fleets to run on ammonia fuel as a future fuel, then we would require nearly 2000 gigawatts of ammonia. Now this is a huge amount that has to be brought into account, but yes, there has to be technologies that must be brought in order to make this possible. And once this is possible, it would not be restricted only to the shipping industry, but it could be brought to the commercial vehicles as well.